I mean, they say lobbyists, I think, get paid $176 million a year.
Hasn't like a candidate for president run like major platform on campaign finance reform? Like that was.
They all say it. They all say it, but then they all take money.
Right.
They all say the same thing, and then they all take money.
Well, even Obama said that his main goal for the education system was to reinvest in the arts and science program, but he hasn't done it.
Right.
Everyone's like so concerned about everything else right now that they don't think about the future of our country. And
well, and then it's the whole flashy, like, look over here, and it's like they go back to the magician,
Well, and even universities now are training people with liberal arts degrees. They're training people with communications degrees. And they're not training scientists. They're not training mathematicians. They're not because students don't want to do it because it's too hard. They think,
I think they said like science degrees are like less than like 0.5% of all degrees.
Is. And a female in science, like myself, is like even less. Like very rare now are females coming out with degrees in any of the sciences. And math too. The same with math.
Yeah, no, I know. I agree.
And it's scary because they're going to not have scientists.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, as a scientist coming out, I was like, I'm excited because in about 10 years, all the scientists that were pushed during the Cold War to beat Russia, and they were pushed on the education, and the wall goes down, the Cold War is over, and everybody just like, all right, well, we're done.
Well, and even once you become a scientist and you don't have that creative freedom now to do what you are thinking or to work on a patent that you think is what's right, you have to do what everyone else and the corporation that's funding that is telling you.
Well, and that's another downside. I mean, I did mortgages for a little bit, and I remember seeing a professor at USC, like looking at financial statements, and I was like, the professor was only making like $76,000 a year as a professor at USC. I'm thinking this person got a PhD and is now working at like one of the greatest institutions. And here they are making less than people I work with.
Yeah.
And Pete Carroll's making $7-8 million a year.
Yeah, right.
No, it's.
But he makes more money for the university than anybody else.
Right.
Hands down.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how that works. It's
just,
completely backwards.
And then I go to Denmark in 2004, and one of my friends there, my buddy's friend Sheila, she was saying she was like 26, 27 times. She's like, yeah, I may go back to school in like a few years or something. She goes back to school, they pay for her school, and then they give her money to live. That's in Denmark. They pay like 43% taxes, but
they pay for science education.
Her healthcare is
here
done. I mean,
too.
healthcare is taken care of. Her living expenses are, and it's in their best interest to have smarter people in their country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It gets them further.
Smarter, healthier people.
Yeah, smarter, healthier people, absolutely. That was cool. It's crazy when the sun would go down at like 11 o'clock at night.
What was that?
The sun would go down like 11 or 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
During the summer, like August. Yeah, that was crazy. It's like, dude, it's like 11 o'clock at night, the sun's still out.
I think it's so
I
scary
always
because
have my education rant for the day.
Yeah.
It's so easy to go off. I don't know. I just see a lot of crappy stuff in schools, and it's like, and they keep imposing these stupid. They just make it worse and worse.
Put on your microphone.
Basically, They rather than like lifting things and taking things off, they like keep things the same and then they throw something else on, and just keeps going on top of it. It makes it worse. Yeah, I mean they're expanding classrooms in California from like, 28 kids to like 34 kids or whatever it may be. Just to cut back on money. And that's after taking away a lot of programs and stuff.
Did they cut the PE program in California?
No, as far as I know, no. Why have they done that in some states?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's like one of the programs that they were like ready to cut because they think that physical education costs too much money.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
That's one of the most
Well, what's
important.
even stupider is that.
Well, yeah. I mean, what's the point of having smart kids if they're all gonna have heart attacks at age 40?
Yeah.
Well, exactly. And what's even stupider is that the thing about a physical education class is that it is going to train people to be physically active, and then also it's taking their minds off of focusing on school, so it's helping them.
Yeah, it balances it.
It balances it out the day, so that they're not just having so much curriculum shoved down their throats, because that also is a negative part of the education system.
Any student needs a mental break.
Yeah. And then they feed them the worst crap at the cafeteria food.
No kidding. And that's a problem too. It's like in America, it's cheaper to eat unhealthy than it is to eat healthy.
Yeah.
Poor
You wanna eat healthy,
nutrition,
you're
no
paying
physical
like
education,
$3 or $4 more every time.
no science programs.
Yeah.
They're gonna have like,
Yeah, our country is in a sad state of affairs right now.
it's so scary to think about.
And it all starts at the top.
Yeah.
And it's so scary because students don't want to do science anymore. They don't everyone you say something about science, chemistry, or physics, people freak out and they're like, what?
Well, you know what? And that's the thing. I told you, when I would go to the classrooms and I do the science projects with kids.
Yeah. To get them excited.
Somebody just buzzed.
Yeah, what the fuck is
Damn.
that?
Enzo.
Jesus
I swear to God, I thought maybe there was another stink ball under the.
Oh, grenade, yeah? Oh, shit. I gotta even get up.
What happened to you announcing him?
Yeah. Where was the warning? The whistle.
That was like a stun grenade. I couldn't even move for like 30 seconds. No, but when I do the science, when I go to the classrooms and do science projects with the kids, and these kids get so excited.
They do.
And in part, I think nowadays it's because they're not getting it anymore either.
Hopefully they'll make them want to be excited about it. But then the biggest problem is that people, especially as students get older, the less they have to do it, the less they know how to learn. Like, learning science is like learning another language.
Yeah.
And you have to train your brain a certain way to comprehend that information, especially with some of these more detailed sciences.
Yeah.
And especially when you get into the upper levels of it, that people don't, sometimes I don't want to do it, and I'm in the middle of it. Sometimes I, don't want to have to memorize shit.
Well, you know what? We've also made it, I think we made it a little bit easier in the American education system for kids to be lazy.
Yeah.
It's tolerable. You know what I mean? Because for me, a lot of the stuff, math and, a lot of stuff has come easy, but there's a lot of stuff I come across that isn't easy for me. And I have to work twice as hard as some people who get it a little bit easier. But I know that I need to do that. But there's a lot of kids nowadays who are like, oh, well, it's okay, I'm not good at it. They're just lazy.
Well, yeah, they don't want to do it, and they don't want to learn chemistry. They don't want to learn physics. They don't care. They're like, oh, I'm never going to use this. When am I going to use this in real life?